Good morning, good morning. Excuse the lack of shirt, but it's 5:34 and I just had to clean up after my dog. And I wanted to make this video. We've had this whole dust up of Ebony K. Williams, and BGS made a video, did black women sell their men out for 30 pieces of silver? Before even this, earlier on today, or earlier on yesterday, I was talking in a group chat, and I've been wanting to make a video about like a generation lost, like a whole generation of families, good relationships, relationships where people are building and putting their best foot forward. A generation of, kids that could have grown up and been in better positions, leaders of the quote unquote renaissance or rebuilding or renewal of the black community, and that's been lost. It's been lost. Multiple generations have been lost. Future generations, that is, or even current generations. The time has been lost to these generations, and I haven't really been able to find like the proper words for this. So, excuse me, it'll be a bit of a ramble, but I'll try and make it short, or straight and to the point. But we have Gen X and Gen Y, millennials. The time that we've had to build families, relationships, build wealth has been lost to court systems, situationships, promiscuity, messiness, ratchetness, hood culture, hood bullshit, drama shows, reality TV. In the entertainment that we've watched as millennials, as Gen Xers growing up into this. Generation X was around, like millennials. We grew up at the beginning of the computer age, and then Generation X lived through it. They were there way before. Excuse me. So they saw the advancement of technology to where we are right now. You have your Gen Xers are like, they're in their 50s and such. Excuse me. And then you have your millennials where we're going into our 40s. I'm going to be 38 this year. So, and then the youngest of us are in their 20s, early 20s. So you're looking at generations that have seen this transition in technology, but also seen this transition into the decay of our society, the decay of Western civilization, the decay of America and Black America, especially. They've seen that decay, and of course, it didn't start with them. It's not to blame any one of these generations. It's to show that, hey, because of previous generations, previous events. Whether you say it's white supremacy, whether you say it's the the 80s, the 70s and 80s with the drug trade and everything else like that, war on drugs in the 80s and I believe 90s, whatever you want to say is the reason for it. And I'm not trying to skirt around blame and, not be like, oh my God, white supremacy, or not say white supremacy. I'm just trying to say, no matter what you point to, we've lost generations because of it. We've lost 2 generations because of it. My generation and the previous. And when you look at something like that, and then you look at, say, an Ebony K. Williams, and you can see, that lady's a bitch. And not because of what she said. Just look at her face when all of this stuff is going down. That bitch is fake as fuck. Like, you could just tell, man, like, yo, you's a fake motherfucker, dude. You fake as shit. Straight up. Like, you just, I can just tell, like, you's a fake. Oh, you don't know me personally. Listen, lady, I've seen enough fake motherfuckers and chicks that try to act proper, prim, proper, bougie, stush, as you would say in Jamaica. Like, I've seen how that fucking looks. You're fake as fuck. Like, they start to talk in this way where it's just like, and I expect for black people to get better. And like, it's just like, yo, I could see like your true behavior, attitude, essence, thought process is showing through your face. You are not hiding it. You are not good at hiding it. And you could say whatever the fuck you want. I could see it on your face. You're a fake motherfucker. And people can see it. Like, it's just, come on, man. And the thing is, like, everybody thinks that they shouldn't have to be less than, or they shouldn't have to accept less than, so on and so forth. But when you look at, like, everyone themselves thinks that, but then when they look at somebody else, it's like, you should settle. I mean, you know, if you think about it, you know, it's okay. Everybody's average, you know, so on and so forth. And it's just like, come on, man. And it's like, if you don't want to accept, if she would have said, hey, listen, nah, I'm not really into bus drivers. That's not who I see myself being with, right? Instead of trying to be right. And that's exactly what it was. It's just trying to be right. And when you see this, right, this is a personification. And, you know, people could be like, well, why are you putting all this on this person and everything else like that? You know, they're just human and all this other stuff. Listen, it is a pattern. She is one of many. She is not unique. She is not as unique as she thinks she is. And people, and like we as like men see that, especially in this space, we see that shit. But we as men have seen that in our everyday lives, where you have these chicks that are working HR, that'll be your boss, that'll work on the floor with you in a call center, that'll be fake as fuck, man. They say all this other shit and act a certain way, be bad and bougie, and then next thing you know, you see who they fucking with, and it's just like, your last nigga was a bus driver. What the fuck you talking about? Like, come on. But this is what we're talking about this is what I'm talking about when I say a generation lost. Well, our generation has been lost to women like that, to men like that. These people have abortions. These people have kids. And these kids turn out to be ain't shit. Or these kids turn out to where they have absolutely nothing to show for it at the end of the day. You know, or not, actually, they have absolutely nothing to show for it at the beginning of their lives. And you look at Ebony K. Williams, I don't believe she has kids. And it's just like, yo, you were a good-looking woman back in the day. That shit has gotten to your head, or went to your head, and now we can see it. Like, honestly, like, we always, you know, make these references to, damn it, what is that? To Star Wars, or to Matrix, Star Wars, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Jedi versus Sith, and stuff like that. But one thing about Star Wars that's always like amazing is the decay of the Sith, or the I forgot what they call it. Don Calypso would correct me, or knows the term. But the Sith always show their anger, their passion, their feelings, and it shows in their face, the disfigurement of their face, the fact that they have to hide their face over cloak, they have to hide their face with cloaks or masks, helmets. You know, Vader, Sidious had to always wear his cloak over his body and everything. You know, even though he was a very powerful Sith Lord. And when you look at that, you start to when you start to apply that to like women, you start to see how like at first you look fine, like you're a Palpatine. Then something happens, and over time, whether it be and this connects to BBLs and a whole bunch of breast augmentations and, you know, lips and stuff like that. I was watching something on Daily Rap Crew, and it was like I don't know who the IG model or whatever she was, but like one of her upper lip looked like my two lips, like it was just that big, like a lip and a half, one and a half of my own lips is what this chick's like one upper lip looked like. And I'm like, man, somebody need to let the air out that tire, man, because that's a little bit too fucking much. Like, damn. I might put it in the. I might put it like pin it into the comment section. The video I'm talking about. But you start to see where they show their discomfort, their displeasure with themselves, and it shows in their face. It shows not just because they're getting old, but it shows in their facial movements, their eyes, and everything else like that. And this is what we as men have to deal with on a regular basis, right? Like there's a meme out there. I think I posted it. It's our brother AH3. Yeah. I posted it in the community tab. And it's like, oh, how was your little day riding your little bus, or how was your little job riding your little bus all day, some shit like that. It's just like very demeaning and shit. And it's just like, we know women like this. And when you think about that and you put all that together, to get back to my point here, this is why generations have been lost. This is why these two generations have been lost. Or that we can actually see, hey, listen, this is the reason why these generations belong. You can say the same thing about previous generations as well. So, I'm not making, I'm Mr. Captain Obvious. I'm just kind of putting it into words because I think about this shit. But you could see how, our generations have been lost to this way of thinking, to this elitism, this pseudo-elitism. I came up with this term, brunch liberals. And it's mainly because you have like people like a FD signifier or these almost like black pundits, black intellectuals, black like BLM, black movement organizers and stuff like that are there for status. They're like limousine liberals without the wealth. And like, you see a lot of black people, especially in like places like Atlanta and shit like that, happening places where black cities where they're always doing these fucking brunch events and shit like that. They got to go to brunch with their fedoras and their fucking colors and shit like that. And it's just like, dude, that's it. Just go to fucking brunch all the time. Go to entertainment, be out and all this other. That shit's annoying. I don't want to go out all the time. Definitely don't want to clean up dog shit, but I gotta do that. But I don't want to go out all the time. I'd rather just stay home and chill. Like even if it's with just like a significant other, just like, yo, listen, let's just chill, bro. Like I don't want to do all this other shit. I don't want to go out every fucking weekend and have fun, and unwind from the week. Me unwinding is sleeping, like putting the dog in the cage or walking them, letting them get out, and then, all right, man, I'll talk to y'all later. Go in my room, go to sleep. My dogs are usually pretty, or my older dog is usually pretty good. The younger one, not yet. He's got to stay in the crate and get used to it a little bit more. I've had him for about a month now, so he's getting there. He's learning pretty quick. But you're seeing where, these brunch liberals, these people that want status, these people that want entertainment at all times, these people that don't want to build, they don't want to go into long-term relationships. And I'm talking like, hey, listen, we're talking forever. And we're not cheating. I'm not trying to spice it up in the bedroom. None of that shit. It's just like me and you, we having kids, we raising them, and we getting them the fuck out of the house. And it's just like, that's boring. Nobody wants peace anymore. And not until it's too late. They don't want peace until it's like, oh, okay, now I want a peaceful life. And it's like, yo, you didn't even save up for a peaceful life. You saved up for work, and it shows. You're going to be 60, 70 years old and still working. Like, that's what you're saving up for. That's what you could expect. Nothing is going to save you from that after a while, unless you're going to make a shit ton of money. And a lot of people aren't going to do that. I won't even be able to do that for a long period of time. For me to do the things that I'm doing to make money, I'm going to have to move up. I'm going to have to reskill. I'm going to have to do more. If I don't, well, oh, bitch, I hope you have enough money. Talk to myself in this. I'm like looking at myself. But when I hear people talk about their future, what they won't accept, and it's just like, you've already accepted this. Not in your past situations or anything like that, but you've already accepted this because you haven't done enough to put any money away. And I'm not talking about Ebony K. Williams. Supposedly she's like worth like, let Ed tell it, like, or from what Ed has said, it's like she's worth like $3 million or something like that, or she has a good amount of money. And it's just like, of course she's got to be paid at least, $250,000 or something like that, I would assume. doing stuff on the grill. I don't know. We'll see. Well, that'll come out eventually, or if ever, or the fruits of that will come out. I don't need to know how much she makes. The point is, that's not for me to know. That's really for, or I use it as an example, really for other people to understand that, hey, you're not her. And in some cases, you are her. I'm trying to make all that to work. Make sense. Sorry, I apologize. But you're not her because she has an outsized, like, maybe return, or she has different opportunities. She's in a different class or strata, so to speak, or social strata, so to speak. But you are her because of the attitudes that black women have against black men, women have against men in this society. You are her, and it remains to be seen in terms of, like, not having enough saving, not investing in the right person to live the rest of your life with, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So when I see all this stuff and I see her and I see women like her, she's just like an archetype for her. She's like an archetype, an avatar, so to speak, for a lot of well-to-do women that have pretty much discarded the men, but then they still expect the man, because it's weird because, and this goes back to like the being bipillual or bipillular, where people want to live two different lives. They want to take from two different buckets, two different pots. And it's like, no, you've made your choice. You need to stay in your lane. And, oh, well, I can get off. I can exit this highway at any time. I'm sorry. No, there's no exiting. You've put yourself in this lane, and this is what you wanted. So you're seeing, and the point I'm making here is that people have made this decision to not invest in relationships, not invest in people around them, not to have children, not to ensure their future, ensure the security of their future in one way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it be buy land, buy a house, pay off your home, save up, make sure that you're ready for retirement. Like, for instance, like, how am I going to cut 7 acres of lawn? Will I be able to, pay $500 every other month to get my lawn cut? Like, things like that. Like, what can I do to make sure that I can continue on the same standard of living while I'm working that in retirement? Like, will I be able to pay the same amount of money? And it's just like, or will I be able to pay the same in expenses? Will I even have the same expenses? Will my expenses be higher because of, many medical issues? And do I have the money prepared for that? And a lot of people haven't talked to themselves about that. They haven't really looked at their books about that. And a lot of people just don't want to because it hurts. It sucks. It's wild to look at. When you see somebody like, just to sum it up, because now I'm rambling, but when you see somebody like an Erica K. Williams, when you see some like that archetype, that avatar, that person, when you see them up close and like in your face and how they act towards you, and you really ask yourself, or if you even like could ask them, like, do you have your shit together? Oh, of course I got my shit together. Oh, okay. All right. I believe you. Time will tell. Time will tell. With all the laws that they've put in place to hinder, handicap, stifle, quiet, muffle men in the society, they haven't yet put a law in place, or they haven't enforced it. They haven't enforced a law, and the only thing they can do is tax, really, at this point. But they haven't enforced a law to stop men from doing nothing. They never thought we would do nothing. They never thought we would opt out. They never thought that we would just say, hey, listen, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gone. You could put taxations. You could put sanctions in certain areas. You could stop certain things like in the SWIFT system or banking. But they never thought men would just say, hey, listen, this doesn't make any sense. I can't fight you guys. The only weapon I have is the weapon of choice, and I choose not to participate in the battle. And they just didn't understand that they didn't understand, and I won't say they didn't understand, and I won't even say that they didn't think of it. It's really just can't do much about it. Well, that remains to be seen as well. We'll see. I think certain things will happen. I think we will see people. We will see how people look at us, how people handle us, so to speak. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully we'll all be prepared for that. They've made laws to stop us from burning this son bitch down. They just didn't think we'd burn it down through watching it decay. We'll still go out and spend money. We'll still go out and fuck hoes. We'll still have sex and all this other shit. But in terms of making a family, long-term commitment, nah. We're going to get our rocks off. We're going to get in, get out. If we get taxed for it, okay, we'll pay it. We're still not going to deal with these motherfuckers for a long period of time. Shout out to Venture MGTOW. Miss you, brother. Miss your work. The words of the line of MGTOW. Give them nothing. And we're seeing how they're dealing with that. Peace. Love you all.